Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to start off this video with a trigger warning. This video is going to include talk of sexual abuse of an underage child. It's also going to include this talking about the breaking of trust by a religious leader to said underage child. If you find any of those things triggering, please click off this video. Tune into some of my other content on my channel. Now, with all of that said, I want to get into a article that is titled "Christian Pastor Begs for Mercy Before Being Sentenced to Life for Trafficking Teenage Girl." This is a crime-related story and thus is going to cause a lot of controversy, but it does need to be spoken about. This article was written by Isadora Teich. I want to say it's her last name. It's Teich. It was posted on July 7th, 2019 on deadstate.org. This is in reference to Pastor Anthony Haynes, and he was the pastor of a church called Greater Life Christian Center in Toledo, Ohio. Now, this is a very disgusting story. Unfortunately, it is a story that we hear more and more and more, and it is just truly shocking. Now, Anthony Haynes was sentenced to life in prison. Yay, thank you. He was sentenced to life in prison for grooming an underage girl to serve him sexually, and then he shared that girl with two other pastors. Again, another one of these stories that unfortunately is becoming more and more common. This case was heard by District Judge Bernard Friedman. Hayes, during sentencing, begged for mercy. He, quote, said, "I don't deserve life. I don't deserve life. Like I said, I've been doing life for 27 months while I've been away from my children, and it hurts. My need today is for you to have mercy on Anthony Hayes." Well, here's my question, Anthony Hayes. Who had mercy on that child that you groomed and forced to have sex with you and your buddies? It sure wasn't you. So let's move on. At the time of the abuse began, this underage child was 14 years old and Hayes was 40. So in 2017, Hayes was arrested on federal sex trafficking charges. Also, two other pastors were indicted as well. A 39-year-old pastor by the name of Kenneth Butler, who was in Over the Kingdom Encounter Family Worship Center, and a 48-year-old Reverend Cordell Jenkins, who was the leader of Abundant Life Ministries. The abuse went on between 2014 and 2017, where the three used this underage girl for sex. Hayes' family actually took this underage girl in because her mother could no longer provide for her. So there goes another just layer of minutia on top of this. Not only did you use this girl for your sexual pleasure, but you were her spiritual leader, let's just say, but you also took her into your home because her mother couldn't provide for her anymore. So not only were you her spiritual leader, you were also supposed to be protecting and providing for her as just like a family member. So in 2014 is when the abuse started, and the girl was 14 years old. On top of this, she was already a sexual abuse victim, and you knew that. Anthony Haynes was already aware that this child had already been sexually abused before he took her into his home and started abusing her himself. So, Anthony Haynes would, after she would perform sexual acts for him and his cronies, he would give the girl money and then threaten her if she told anybody about the sexual acts, as another way of keeping her quiet. So not only did you groom her and abuse her, but you treated her as if she was a prostitute and then threatened her. Aren't you just the epitome of godliness? The sexual acts would happen inside his home, that was also her home, inside of vehicles, at the church, and also in local Toledo motels. So you violated her protection inside the home, so the home was not a safe haven for her. You did it inside of vehicles, so you treated her like a common, prostitute. You did it inside of the church, so that the church wasn't a safe haven for her either. And then you also treated her, again, like a common prostitute by doing it inside Toledo hotels and motels. Again, how are you a good person? Why should anybody have mercy on you? Moving on. To add insult to injury, Haynes would take his phone and take pictures of the girl performing sexual acts, in the act of her performing sexual acts. Again, why do you deserve mercy? So he abused his position as her caregiver and as her spiritual leader for the pleasure of him and his friends, repeatedly, over a 3-year period. Now, the article doesn't discuss how this all came to light, nobody knows exactly how this came to light. Hopefully, this girl's finally said something, or hopefully, somebody just looked through his phone and found the pictures, or they busted him in the act of doing it. I don't care. I'm glad that somebody finally busted this sicko doing this to this girl. So from the age of 14 to the age of 17, she was just degraded in the worst kind of ways. And she had to endure that. And that's sad. She had no safe haven. She had no way out. Because this guy was not only her pastor, but he was also her caregiver. So she had no way of escaping it. So Judge Freeman expressed sympathy to Hayes' family. But he described Hayes' actions as disgusting and horrible. And that, my friend, does not begin to describe what he did. I'm sorry. Judge Freeman actually was kind to him in saying that about his actions, because for me, disgusting and horrible barely scratches the surface as to what his actions were. Sick, degrading, morally bankrupt. I mean, that just is off the top of my head, and if I sat here and actually think about it any further, I could think of a whole host of other words that could go along with that, but I won't. Freeman also stated that Hayes also lacked remorse for his actions, because if you go back to what he was saying to the court, I don't deserve life. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And then to say that you served life for the past 27 months? Bro, that is a year and 3 months. This girl had to endure your actions for 3 years. You did 1/3 of what she had to endure. Because you were away from your children? You need to be away from all children. Permanently. But in sentencing Hayes, these are Judge Freeman's words. Quote, "Society relies on people of trust. It's totally violated and we have to send a message. Ultimately, we got the sentence that I thought justice required. And so no matter how we get there, he's going to be off the streets forever and the victim was heard. And the sentence reflects that." It's a good thing that this victim was finally heard. It is a good thing that she finally got some retribution for what was done to her. Hopefully, someone has this girl in therapy and someone has got her into a loving environment because she's going to need it. I really hope the other 2 that were involved in this got the same sentence, and I really, really, really hope that people pay attention to who they allow their children to be around. Just because they're a pastor, a priest, a reverend, or whoever does not make them a morally superior person. We see this right now in the Catholic Church. Obviously, it's in other denominations. It is rampant. Be careful who you allow your children around. Be very, very careful about what your children see or do. If your child starts acting funny, ask questions. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. I need to go scrub out my eyes with some bleach and try to erase this from my brain. Go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell. Leave me down in the comments. What do you think? Is life an appropriate sentence for this person? For me personally, I think pedophiles deserve way worse than a prison sentence. But that is my personal opinion. In the description box down below is my social media and email. I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. My email. If you have a case that you want me to look into, send it to me. I will do so. If I shoot a video on it, I will shout you out in that video so that you know that your case was picked, and I will credit you for your input. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today.